Breaking news coming out right now, and the old saying appears to be true: the lie makes it around the world before the truth gets its boots on. Neil Augenstein from WTOP here in Washington DC, one of their reporters, has popped this morning a tweet thread which renders, if true, the entirety of the media's coverage from 4 p.m. yesterday right through to this very moment null, void, and lie. Neil Augenstein is saying that U.S. Park Police have explained in detail what happened with Lafayette Park yesterday, and that critically, the police are saying they did not use tear gas to get rid of from the park peaceful protesters before the president's walk to St. John's Church. Now, that lie has been reported all over Twitter. It has been reported on every national news station.
It was on the Chiron immediately, tear gassing innocent protesters.
It is on every single international news station. It is in all the news roundups. It is in all the newspapers.
Our bishop, our Anglican bishop, was crying tears because of the tear gas.
And it was also critically just in Joe Biden's speech that he made this morning. Now, the park police are saying that they did not coordinate with the White House on clearing the park. The park police did not know President Trump would be walking across the park several minutes later, and that they used smoke canisters, not tear gas, after officers were pelted with water bottles in the park. And Neil Augenstein at WTOP has sources who have told him this, who are in that square yesterday night, and who've clarified this. And the critical thing that gives the game away on all of this is, would the police have fired tear gas if the president was about to walk into that space? It makes no sense on the face of it.
Well, remember, they claim that they did not know the president was coming, so it can't be both ways.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It's the media is telling us that, yes, there was coordination and there was tear gas. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
That's correct.
Right. That doesn't make any sense. And so the park police are now saying there was neither coordination.
His point makes sense. If you had coordination, you would not use tear gas because it had been around to hurt the president. If you didn't have coordination, you got the smoke. Right.
And so they're saying that they used the smoke. And let's see if we get some retractions, if we get some clarifications, because this thread now has been up for 2 hours, and I've not seen a damn thing on CNN about it.
I want to go back. We'll do it this afternoon. We got some time in the war room. But I want to go back to remember CNN and MSNBC have got on the ground Garrett Hake, the young man that got shot by the rubber bullet the other day, got ricocheted a rubber bullet. He's been on the ground, and the CNN's reporters have been right there on the ground. We got to see if they were saying there was tear gas or not, right? I actually didn't watch enough of it to know or not, but I don't think they did. But we ought to see that, right? And that should have been a tell also to the producers saying, hey, if our guys are not dying from the tear gas, because tear gas will grab you, it's put out there for a reason.
Well, we're going to know soon. Apparently, Augustine said that the Park Service is going to put out a statement, I guess, later this afternoon, declaring exactly what happened.
I love it when the administrative state turns on CNN and MSNBC. Ooh, and hey, your administrative state, you're loving them during impeachment, and you're loving them during the pandemic. This is the time. Get your Fauci down. Give a big hug when the Park Service comes out and says no tear gas. How's that when it folds back in on you? Not so good, is it? I'm sure it'll be a little teeny footnote.
Right.
No, all of a sudden it's tear gas on innocent protesters. Listen, no police officer. This whole thing, I'm not even for yelling. And this, the ethno-nationalist nutcases on the right, I've said this before, guys show up with clubs and that kind of stuff. They show up with that. I don't think that's a protest. That stuff should be shut down immediately. You would cut a lot of this stuff out. But the police officers, the thin blue line, they shouldn't be subject to the spitting on and to the yelling and everything like that. That's when, to me, that's crossing the line of peaceful. That's not peaceful. Peaceful, you can protest and make your point, carry your sign, and you should. And you should ramp it up, right? And you should ramp it up. And that's why I think the Presidential Commission he should appoint today, they should be in the Oval Office working. Ought to get to the bottom of it. Let's have the studies and the analysis and debate it and have all that, whether it's systemic racism, whether it's bad apples, whether it's bad training, whatever it is, right? And get to the bottom of it so you never have to have a repeat of this. And you can weed, if it's bad apples, you weed them out. If it's bad training, you change it. If it's systemic racism, you get to the bottom of it. But I tell you one thing is not going to work. This whole thing about no police, right? They're coming out, defund the police. Just look around, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, MSNBC and CNN ought to put more of that on because that's crazy talk. Okay, that's crazy talk, right? You just look around and people are afraid. It's just not going to happen, and it's minority communities, right? That's where the crime rates are still the highest down there. They're the ones that need protection. This is ridiculous. You just can't you can't take the police out. They need protection. That's what they're there for. And the police are not perfect. Every kid growing up can tell you that, right? The police are not perfect. I want to go to, but this thing right here, this hypocrisy, and this is what I'm saying, it's instigating it. This is stirring up the pot. They ought to be very judicious about what they say and how they say it. They're stirring the pot.
CNN's live Chiron is still peaceful protesters tear gassed for Trump church photo op, despite Park Police saying that never happened.
Mark the time. The time is they've had they can get you breaking news. How about breaking news? That's a lie, according to the Park Police. Just don't take this is not the war room pandemic crazies. Park Police, the administrative state. I love the Park Police. I'm a big believer in the historical parks and everything like that, but they're good folks.
Can we get Jack Dorsey on the phone and get a fact check on all of these tweets that went out with all the fake news on them about tear gassing now? Will Twitter censor every single bit of fake news that came out last night? And by the way, Steve, you're right. They know what they're doing. They're stirring it up. Remember, at the beginning of this administration, there was the chant that went out, the shrieks, "He will not divide us." Well, they were right. He didn't. They did.
Amen.
We will make America great again.